Hello and welcome to the butterfly sage. Well, Mount Hood is iridescent today. It's a lot more bright and neon in person. I doubt you'll even be able to see Mount Adams in the camera. I'm gonna take my finger and point it. If you follow my finger, you see that lone tree right there? Look just to the left and behind it. That white little piece that's possibly a cloud in the camera, that's actually a mountain. You can see it a little bit better in person, but right there. You can see Mount Hood pretty good in the camera. Lucky to live where I live. The views are stunning. Well, my Princess Anne has finally just about had it after about 10 days of being frozen, which we aren't usually frozen that long, not that many days in a row. So pretty. And this hollyhock, what in the world? I'm not complaining. You're so pretty in the midst of this dreary deadness. I mean, it's not really time for you to be blooming. It's December, but your buddy's not blooming. The willow is not blooming. I mean, the leaves are off of the willow. It's clearly not time to be blooming, but thank you for giving me color in December. I appreciate it. So today we're going to plant this Strongbox. It's an Inkberry Holly. Inkberry Hollies are native to the United States, but over on the East Coast and the South Central states, they are not native over here on the west side. However, they are not invasive like the English holly is over here. So it should be safe to plant, and it only gets to be about, this Strongbox Inkberry Holly only gets to be 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So I wish I had more than one, but my garden center only had one. I plan to get a whole bunch more of them if I like the look of them. I'm kind of trying different things in this area here, so if I can get more of them, I want to plant them all along this whole section here on this inner circle, kind of what I did over here with the rosemary, and I want to see what I like better, if I like this Inkberry Holly better or the rosemary better. So can I just say, oh brother, when I was recording myself using the auger, I had the camera pointed the opposite direction, away from me instead of towards me, so I didn't get any of that on film. While I take the time to unwrap this tag out of this plant, which does take me some time, I'm going to mention that late fall is not the right time to be planting broadleaf evergreen plants, which this Inkberry Holly is a broadleaf evergreen plant. But I thought it would be better for me to plant it now in the ground than keep it in the pot all winter long, because I don't have a greenhouse, so it'll be safer in the ground, and I can mulch it, and if necessary I can put some frost cloth on it. So they say these Inkberry Hollies make a great alternative to boxwoods, which I hope so, because I do not like boxwoods. 1, because they smell like cat urine. 2, we have boxwood blight here on the west side of Oregon, and I just didn't want to have to deal with it. I know that there are companies that, such as Proven Winners, that make boxwoods that don't smell, but I just didn't want to have to deal with the blight either. Interesting info. These inkberries from these hollies were used by Civil War soldiers as their own personal ink.
I don't know if this is a true fact. I did not double check it, but that is what I have read. If you want the berries from this inkberry plant, you will need a male inkberry plant so it can pollinate the female inkberry plant. This Strongbox inkberry that I am planting is a female, and so I will need to get a male inkberry plant if I want the berries from this plant. And you are supposed to plant the male inkberries 50 feet, at least within 50 feet from the female inkberry plant.
Okay, so I'm not going to water it in because we are supposed to get rain. Surprise, surprise, Pacific Northwest, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow. And the ground is really wet as it is. I'm also going to cover it with about 3 inches of mulch since it's winter time and trying to help protect it a little bit. The reason why you are not supposed to plant broadleaf evergreens in the winter is because of the fact that their leaves are so big. When it's frozen cold, the leaves tend to, the water evaporates out of them quicker and they don't get as much water when the ground is frozen. But like I said, our ground doesn't freeze that much. It doesn't stay frozen completely. Usually, every once in a while we get a really bad winter, but it doesn't usually stay frozen all winter.
Inkberry plants are also the host plant for the Henry's Elfin butterfly.
Well, that's all for this episode. Thanks for coming, and until next time, feed the pollinators for me.